Hello, 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 hello.
Intriguing.
Ah, yes, we were trying to work out this. Another compartment. Grant me your understanding, Master. Grant me wisdom. Your Lordship, how can I be of service? Who are you and what you do here? I'm Clotus, junior cleric. I sought recordings from the Shrine Confessional to pass on to high-ranking clergy. Tell me about the confessional. Our parishioners coming to repent, share their innermost thoughts and observations of their neighbours. The sacred machine records all confessions and alters the voices beyond recognition. Is there a way to find out who made the confession? There's not. That would undermine the usefulness of it. The first prototype wasn't anonymous, so these confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone was impeccably diligent payers and whatnot. But as soon as the machine spirits started keeping the name secret, the parishioners opened up. Good thinking. I will endeavour to serve. I have other questions. It appears you have difficulties. That escapes your lord's notice. As it happens, I am struggling to categorize three peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared tell you about them, but I think they may have been left by senior officers, which would make this matter of the highest order, and it's far beyond my meagre understanding. These confessions, see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissent or heresy poisoning the minds of those most eminent members of the crew. They cannot change what I heard. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think they were made by senior officers? These parishioners are well-spoken, meaning they are used to addressing an audience. Perhaps they issue orders and are vested with power. And, well, after categorizing so many confessions, I have learned to notice subtle differences between them. Let me hear. One question has troubled me for years. Why are some distant to perish in the while others must go living on preserve the memory of the dead? What if your more luminous souls have been lost? Yeah, here I still am. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, but every so often I consider increasing their rations and ordering more sets of clothes for them. They will not replace the families they lost, but it will improve their lives somewhat. Especially given that the ship has enough resources to cover that comparably trivial expense. We have the High Victorian is taking personal charge of orphans. Lop-eared clappers display a high degree of socialization, both among their kind and towards their owners. These animals are just wild to avoid ship's lower ground, since it's similar to their homeworld's conditions. Lop-eared clapper meat is edible, should necessity demand it. I'm curious who left these confessions. I will seek them out. Since the confessions truly are special if your lordship is giving them his personal attention, then would I have imagined the RogueTrader himself coming to my aid. Regarding your... Yep, I'll leave you to your concerns. Yep.
I tread a path
We
unexplored.
are the spearhead of the Imperium. Look no further.
My whispers crave entertainment.
Time to leave my mark upon the galaxy.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Why did you...
My aspirations transcend humanity.
What advice do you seek?
Did I mention that my whispers tell me jokes?
The Emperor sets my path. Blessed be the road that we take.
My ascension has only just begun.
Offer prayer.
am at your service.
Time to leave my mark upon the galaxy.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Should I divine our next step?
When the faithful are idle, heresy grows.
Fate beckons me. Embrace true power.
What advice do you seek?
My aspirations transcend humanity.
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Oh, I see. There's the
This
fucking
mastercrafted
tiles.
patella augment is not fit for a servitor.
Yes.
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
My whispers crave entertainment. I dare not provoke the whispers.
Look no further.
I am not afraid to embrace the revelations that make others shriek and cower. That is the difference.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you
Join me in prayer.
Should I divine our next step?
okay.
The Emperor sets my path.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium. The sooner we start.
One,
Sins hidden in the heart turn
Two.
all to decay.
Fate beckons me.
3.
Did you want something? Something ominous lurks ahead.
I'm at your service.
My aspirations transcend humanity.
Join me in prayer.
Look no further.
Do we not have enough people? I don't have 5 party members.
Time to leave my mark upon the galaxy.
That's the problem here. Okay, we need to come back.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, what is it you do on the ship? I am the ship's confessor, your lord. No vessel that abides by the Imperium law can sail the void without a spiritual guide. Even a smaller ship size that does not have a member of the Econosarchy on board, which is all matters of faith to a layperson who is a staunch adherent of the creed. A RogueTrader's flagship, naturally, is expected to have a confessor who comes from a line of his reverend servants. I am such one. I'm just caring for the reliquary chapel and the dynastic crypt. I also conduct liturgies, consecrate the ship's bays, and strengthen the crew's hearts whenever dark hour is upon us. Lest any among them falter in the face of horrors lurking in the darkness and fail on their duty. Open the reliquary with the power wall. Alas, your lordship, I do not know a way of opening the locks on that particular receptacle without damaging its competence. One of the ship's confessors from days past sealed the reliquary well, so as to bar anyone from taking it. Suppose it was a desperate precautionary measure against thieves and heretics who would seek to lay their hands on a holy relic. I'm sure there exists some impenetrable secret method of unlocking the reliquary, and if I knew where it is, I would tell you at this moment. Tell me, Adelblood, do you visit the shrine confession of repentance as other officers do? I always find time for penance on my morning and evening shifts, your lord. Why are some destined to perish in the wars, whilst others must go on living? Our fates are in the Emperor's hands, and he does require. Do you mean spiritual? If it's ever in short supply, those children who are literate could use prayer books and hagiographies for their own perusal, and to read others. I see it wasn't you. Wonderful, you had come to confess, but now I see you were taking the role of cleric yourself. May the Emperor guide you through request for answers. Tell me about the crypt. Every RogueTrader takes care to maintain an appropriate place of repose on board their flagship, before their capital may change with the passing centuries, but the vessel of their Emperor's anointed serves them for millennia. It is more than just a symbol of the dynasty's authority. It is a source of its power, the Lord's captain seat in the void, whence they reign over their many lands. The Von Valantius crypt is where RogueTraders and their most loyal servants are laid to rest. As a ship's confessor, I perform the rites of burial and remembrance in these honored dead. It never occurred to me this old man that he might have to send Lady Theodora on a infernal journey, but all is in the Emperor's will. I would like to find out more about this place. I could talk about the reliquary chapel for hours. Is this the only place for worship on the ship? I know there are multiple sancta on every deck. We are subject to pray fervently, and the clergy keep a close watch on the firmness of their faith. This, on the other hand, is the holiest of holy places, where only the noblest among the servants are permitted to set foot. I want the others to be able to partake as well. Truly most generous and gracious gesture, your lordship. I will arrange for commoners who have distinguished themselves in the service to be allowed here. An event like that will fill them with fervour, and they will pass down the memory of what they have seen to their offspring. Where does this collection of sacred relics come from? Every relic here was urgently tracked down by your ancestors, captured in battle against the Faithless, or received as a gift for the glorious deeds. A show of loyalty to the Emperor. That speaks for itself, does it not? For our part, we keep the precious relics intact and undisturbed as we conduct liturgies and perform rites. Initiate Zik is especially diligent in his careful rites. He is a common stock. He earned his position through dedication and piety. I have other questions. I would like to hear the Imperial's tenets from you. Every man and woman has their place in order he created, and this order must be followed, and the will of one's superior is obeyed. Beware of witches, for they have been stained by the war. Persecute mutants, for they are perversions of human form, and hate the accursed Xenos. Among the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Emperor is known as the Omnis Sire. They have their own form of worship. Do they share our beliefs? Most certainly. Different lines to the Emperor and ways of worship can be found across the Imperial worlds, but we all believe in the one. Wary of Psychers, but the Imperial needs them. You are right. Rather, astropaths. We are deaf and blind, and there are many other Psychers labouring for the good of humanity. There is their place within the Emperor's design, but only those among them who accept his light and have been authorized. For once in your life, you could just admit that it doesn't have a tongue callous from prayer to handle the warp stages. The Ecolectry tells us to persecute mutants, burning ships made for navigators. The Navis Nobilite are different from most humans, but their differences are a blessing. They are noble servants of the Imperium who help humanity expand its galactic domain. Do you not see the higher purpose that pleases the Emperor? Come to think of it, my warrant entitles me to violate the Imperial Creed in many ways. Violate. Those are not to be conceived as violations. A rogue trader's Buddhist come with a duty to expand the bonds of human influence. If the rogue trader must take responsibility for unorthodox solutions or action in the course of promoting duty, then so be it. It seems to have more holes in Imperial's religions than parasites as grogs. You forget yourself, Ropax. Not even a rogue trader is allowed to blaspheme against holy faith. Sake your own self-salvation. This conversation is over.
My ascension has...
When the faithful are
There is a fervor in my soul. Powers unseen.
I did just
uncover
openly
my
do
heart.
Heresy. Hello, Jamrus. Have you made a question lately? Your lordship. You are truly masterful at springing unexpected questions. However, I must admit I don't quite understand this one. Why is imperative of the must go on living? A philosophical question. I imagine it's due to a complicated mix of experience, luck, and most of all, the Emperor's favour. The orphans of the children would even fight bear its interest, have they not? I'm not prying into how your lordship found out about my confession. I suppose it's raised some questions for you. You're not scheming the misappropriate funds for the orphans. I'm willing to allocate extra resources for the orphans' benefit. I marvel at your gestures. Will there be any specific instructions, your lord? Educate them as they may grow up to be greater use of ship, assign teachers supply books, and commend the best students with gifts. A wise decision, lordship. 2 staffs with 1 shot. That is to say, it's good to know that the children will both learn and be rewarded for their diligence. I shall wait your return. Lord Captain, the lop-eared clappers, the confession. Please repeat your orders. The clappers, Professor, I know everything. I'm ready to answer any questions as soon as I understand what you mean. At ease, it was a test and you passed. A stress interrogation is good to avoid exposing ideologically weak elements. Usually conducted under duress. Thank you for choosing to admit that part to me. Uh-huh. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything? Nope. I assume you heard my confessional message. You wish to talk about it? Big just I want to pair clappers aboard the ship. I'm going to quote my mother's response that it's impossible, you see. The species went extinct several centuries ago. I'm very sorry, Lord Conan. There aren't any clappers to be had. The important question is why. I was fault checking the Vox devices in the ship's reliquary. Message recording works for the deletion does not. You have helped me establish that. Thank you. Wait, why lop-eared clappers specifically? At the time I had nothing to repent of. So I dictated an excerpt from an old letter to my mother. As you heard, it contained arguments in favour of keeping lop-eared clappers on the ship. I can recite it from memory. Find a way to beat the Buddha Academy. Would you like to discuss other methods? That'll be it for now. Wait, did I go somewhere I didn't mean to?
Earth trembles beneath my feet.
Ah, I want to go to the Void Ship Shrine. Let's talk to Clotus. I think that's a problem. Oh, yeah.
Intriguing.
Have you made a confession lately? Sounds like start an interesting conversation. No, I'm not. I don't know, Captain. I simply don't know. Too many good men have devoured the damn walk, and it will never be said. It's hard to think about. You're right. I'm used to talking about important things in heart-to-heart conversations, like the one we're having now.
Greetings.
Have you made a confession lately? No, I'm up to my conductors and work as it. Why some destined to pass it. Those some weren't trying hard enough or listening to their high-ups. Or as someone you know died on you, and I'm supposed to offer my sympathies. Our choice was to come to with something like that, Lord Captain. I'll be blasted if I understand anything, but I'm here to serve. Something you'd like to discuss? Do you know anything about the Fiery Reckoning? I've heard the name. That much I'm sure of, but I don't recall the details. I wonder if it was part of the operation that the later Mort was put in charge of. If it was, then there's nothing I can tell you, Lord Captain. The whole thing was kept under wraps. Your best chance would be to ask a High Factorum. Maybe some of the treasury records I mentioned of this Fiery Reckoning.
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Oh, where's the chapel that we have to go to? Okay.
Embrace true power.
Ah. Okay.
They're staring at me with their bird's eyes like I'm a leper. I'm just passing through, all right? So you lots can calm down.
Triumphant
Never
as
seen
always.
these many quotes to commit the ashpots for specific and sorts of resulting. Uh-huh.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I tread a path unexplored.
Mm-hmm. I don't think where are you?
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Oh, no speaking cannot be safe on the fading storm. The large father's someone will open his yawning maw. Then observable, after the boundless sunset comes a horrific sunrise, brought forth into a of wailing world from the womb of oh. Hmm.
Intriguing.
Let's stream of symbols. Let's see, let's talk to Zachary Weiss. Lord Captain, the visit of RogueTrader is an honor to us. Will be of help, your lordship. Remind me, who are you? My name is Zachary Weiss, your lordship, and the choir master of the Anastropathic Choir. I was posted to this ship soon after the soul binding ritual on Holy Terror. You might say I've been serving House von Valatius my entire life. Have you made a confession lately? I beg your lordship's pardon. Morris, I'm destined to perish in the water while must go on living. How odd. Odd that you should have listened to my confession. Odd that you should choose to push me out. Why? I felt there was anguish in the confession. Wanted to help. My confession made you anxious on my account, resulting in wasted time for a bullshit, and thank for your consideration. Death always keeps close to that, Strauss, and its punishments for arrogance and weakness is severe. I have seen my fellows die, and at times the memories are exceedingly hard to bear. Sadly, almost every choir has a story like that. And the survivor was carried the ghost with them ever since. My apologies, but I cannot continue worrying about these orders. The right to acquire requires clear and firm state of mind. How did you like serving under Lady Theodora? I served her for 2 decades and never knew another captain before your ascension, before I have been through many things. Lady Theodora had a good understanding of my significance within the overall mechanism of the ship's officers, which, however, did not stop her from neglecting my warnings. One second. I'm confused, so how old are you? If my calculations are correct, having factored in our movements through the warp, then I turned 34 a month and a half ago. This man is 34? Ooh, this guy's got thugged. Tell me about the astropathic choir. Of course, Lord Captain, this is something specific you'd like to know. What is this place? To us astropaths, this place is our cradle and our grave, Lord Captain. You are the conflux of every secret missive, every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropaths is ready to lay down the lives for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. We receive and send messages for hours turning into days. We wander the dark depths of the materium, carrying our voice through the warp's eternal night, bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals and missives of others into our own abode. Those are most often meant for you, your lordship, and at times they are meant for no one. What device is this? It is a sacred compiler that helps us record, store, and to an extent unriddle messages. The astropaths first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels of the receivers on the ceiling, the machine-recorded words are routed through lines under the floor into transcribers, and then the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism as it contains a vast catalogue of various symbols and methods of interpretation. The compiler matches the images in the message against its data and forwards the results to the central cogitator. The commander matches the images in the messaging data and the central cogitator and myself so that I can begin the ritual decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism. I praise the God for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from perplexing imagery, an astropath must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the modes of receiving or sending an astropathic message. If the machine knows the meaning of these symbols, why can't it decode the messages itself? Regrettably, for all of us, your lordship, astropathic methods are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Furthermore, as messages pass through the immaterium, They might become distorted by malevolent intent. It falls to your servants alone to shield their mind with faith and separate the true meaning from the influence of their ruinous powers. So if you want to hide certain information from me, you could. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communication that filters through the wall. The nightmarish moaning of the Sea of Souls, the cursed symbols that cause Astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy. The messages from when I'm in search of weak minds such as ours. Concealing all of that from you is my duty. How does one become an Astropath? We were part of the Imperial Typhons, Psychos delivered to terror on the Black Ships. But only a few of the candidates had what it took to study Astropathy. Few still successfully completed the grueling training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived their initiation. We were given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and seeing. The changes you, it wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight, but in exchange you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies us as we stand against the malicious powers. After the ritual, Astropaths sign their position. At this or that Adeptus, an astropathic relay or ship. More often than not, our first place of service is also our last. If something happens to you acquire, where can I find new Astropaths? It would be more on point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the war's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even his deference would be no obstacle, especially if one spends as much time in the company as we do. There is only one way to procure Astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administration, not permitting unattached Astropaths from the sector will be posted on a ship. Ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra and we will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options, blasphemous forbidden options. Unsanctioned psychics, unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first few seances. But even those would do, should the God Emperor put our souls through severe trials, and judging by how rabid the warp has been of late, by the number of dead Astropaths, these trials will be upon us sooner than that, and our prayers could reach Terra. A couple of places where you can find new Astropaths. That's of course if you don't insist on them being all classy and pop like this fried-eyed bunch. Loud noise inside the chapel, does it not bother you? On the contrary, Lord Captain. It is a mental focusing technique used by the flagship's choir, one that I invented myself. This music was written by an Astropath. What my charge of line here, it's not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects our minds from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them, but above all else it serves as a beacon of sorts, amid the tumultuous sea of souls, a thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. I have witnessed the death of one of you Astropaths. What happened? May the God Emperor rest his soul and protect him from the ruinous powers tenacious tools. That was the 5th one this month. Our younger voices cannot handle the warp storms raging in the expanse. Nobody's in their minds, if they are lucky. Something is afoot on the other side of the moor. Lord Captain, something infinitely sinister. Something disastrous. The scraps of mental images that reach us from the Imperium carry the mark of doom. The images that emanate from them are like a beast bearing its teeth. Gotta cancel disturbances. Something raging within them. Something that poses a particular threat to those psychopaths. We will speak later. Quiet, Master. I have business to attend to. Goodbye, your lordship. You know what I'm gonna do? Something like that.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
Uh-huh.
Predictable.
Cool.
Ruinous favor prevails.
Credits from the machine spirits. For worthless gifts are sacrifices of fruitless. There's the headload, does not so much as glance in your direction. You make to a prayer in the Techna Lingua. What's going on here? The sacred compiler is ailing your lordship, but gloom has come over the machine spirits. The sacred compiler is aiding your lordship. A gloom has come over the machine spirits and they're disrupting the mechanism's operation. The 12th row of the drum is now adding incorrect symbols. We summon the summons along the side, but the machine spirits are none too eager to hear the prayers. The esteemed engineer is in the state of tech prayer trance and hasn't moved from the spot for a day now. Our Lord also think the sacred compiler could be better helped by examining its parts through her might aggression secret knowledge of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Why such trifle and error? Imagine a single extra character its way in the corners for a watch up. Imagine what this Lord becoming is loyal, resulting in nothing of your faithful servants falling victim to treachery. Nothing is a trifle to naturopath. How did you let this happen? Give me your lordship, I do not know the answer. I'm afraid the Adeptus Mechanicus didn't fully comprehend the workings of mechanism. We're only knowledgeable on the surface level machines. The receivers commit the messages to paper. The transcribers sort the mental imagery by semantic category and feed it into the thesaurus score. And then the sacred compiler supplements the message with a list of symbols and their interpretations. However, the mechanism extends far deep into the bowels of the ship. Therefore, I will not venture a guess at the possible source of this trouble. Let's see if there's a way I can help. Okay. Ooh.
Unexpected result.
Cool.
The world will bow.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Cool. Ah, there.
A soldier would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Okay. Talk to the astropath. Your Lordship, the sacred mechanism is working again with no disruptions. With sacred words and virtuous thoughts turned towards the machine god, I have been able to pacify this machine's wayward spirits. The Messiah bless it. I should rather say it was my effort to help make the machine operational. How lucky we are so that the venerable tech priest is so pious and wise. That statement is true. I recommend installing 2 incense burner units in this compartment to prevent the spirit's continued anger. The unit's accurate rice will be provided with a list of minor recommendations. 142 in total. For improvements to this compartment's maintenance, failure to implement this will result in sanction on the part of the Adeptus Mechanicus priesthood.
Yes?
Mm. Uh-huh. Hmm. Let's do that one. Let's pop corrals on you. Oh, crap. Need to be level 9. We're currently level 5. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's probably worth doing. Hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's good, actually. Only 3 more levels.
Time to leave my mark upon the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure there's something for you. Thanks to your assistance from Baron Kapala, we've been able to intercept a most curious message. It contains a call sign that into the renegade photography are used to especially important reports. When was the signal sent? Could not say for certainty. Following the repair work, I went through text sent before. This signal had lost its way in the bowels of Mexico. It could be a week old or years. Could it be a message for Lockbeer? It was more like the intended recipient. What does the message say? In a few words, Lilimed, Odenefis 11, the winds have ceased, it is done. Now, Lilimed is Volkfear's call sign for special reports. The rest is go beyond from him. That said, we know where to look for the truth. The Odenefis 11 system. I'll get to the bottom of that message. I have no doubt about your lordship.
I tread a path unexplored.
Cool. Let's go to the shrine. Right, we're here, just initiate Clotus. Who are you and what do you do here? Honestly, you confessing you have nothing to worry about now. Nothing indeed, I will pass the confession on with a note regarding your personal involvement. May the Emperor protect your lordship.
The world
No reward?
trembles beneath my feet.
Okay, and then we've got some planets to visit at some point as well. We want to go to the bridge. The events, each star system contains objects you can interact with. Well, Master voice speak you via private channel. Greetings, I can report that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Materium in the hope of picking up voices from the dynasty's ships or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying indeed. Amid the Materium's turmoil, something is screaming. The scream is driving the choir mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of containing any of the dynasty worlds. Coming from RogueTrader Systems' astropulvic station. What is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your lordship, but if this brought the Materium to war, it has always been a violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who would consider stepping to its waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness where expelled images fuse together. Twisting and cackling, bear crashing into the minds of all who perceive it, a mighty warp storm, the likes of which I cannot recall, rages in the Imperium and it fills me with terror. If this scream stops, will we be able to contact someone? Humbly hope so, your lordship. Perhaps we will manage to send a call for aid to the Von Valancius worlds or one of the dynasty allies. We're going to pay a visit to that station. Thank you, your lordship. Not flying through the sun, huh? He's dead ahead of the void ship. His precious. There is lifeless silence amongst its frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, like in the shadows. All this makes the reading reports of our ship's astronauts who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station all the more disturbing. Contact the station by box. The station not responding. Deploy a scouting team. Not quite that, not quite now. This will cost time. Servants will living the whole death over and only being born out of ashes and blood. One manifests here, twisting the very existence of its nature. Main hall. Send Zachary Weiss to the station with a squad of bodyguards. While Master Weiss boarded the ship in person and proceeded to the choir's hall, he stood silent for hours in front of a man for his advice, held a telepathic conversation with him. Then Master Weiss offered a prayer to the god Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Weiss reverently presented the Lord Canon with a room trophy that the late choir must send us. It's like a shriek across the Imperium has been silenced. This is for the crew, no relief. Visualization kept that when it discovered the crowd was making a different sound. One more terrifying and surreal. It was a melody of cataclysm born within the warp storm of the tornadic power, so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. Mother was astropathic messages and calls into psychic modes, evoking everywhere in the same image. A dark, gaping, beastly mouth, cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of the Materium has reached the RogueTrader's void ship as well. Order the station to be explored. A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the Scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions wiped out half the choir at once, turning Ashcrofts into living portals through which torrents of the Materials managed to pour through. Those who lasted longer blowed and howled above the split. Burn everything. Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. Only one hope can that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along their home. Oh, that's profit factor. Okay. Mhm. What we have here, look, is not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in the local asteroid. It sure is quiet, like it's huddled up there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. The thing is scrappy without a ship at this point. Somebody sure went to town though. We are registering critical damage to the hull and depressurization of several compartments. Oh, there's an incoming transition now too. Heresy, do not require assistance. Pete, do not require assistance. Copy? Keep following. They'll pass by, won't they? Royal Protect. Lord Captain, I'm told our augurs cannot determine the allegiance of this vessel. To be brief, there's an unidentified and badly damaged vessel within Nashville near the Varaki Philia colony that's refusing help. Which, not to put it too fine a point, has not yet been offered to them. Can you establish communication? Let the thing identify itself. Yes, Lord Captain. Connection is established. Unknown vessel we are receiving. Identify yourselves. I repeat, identify yourselves. Do not tell. Tell them. We are done for. This is Thunderfang. We are a merchant vessel. Do you copy? We are a private merchant vessel. Merchant vessel, of course they are. Damn my stupid head. Where did I hear this name before? Thunderfang. However, damage upon an unknown vessel. Telemetry shows multiple hull breaches, most likely caused by the guns of a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air. The bridges have been completely obliterated. Two of the engines are critically damaged. Someone gave them a thrashing, so they barely managed to limp away. Thunderfang, why can I identify yourselves? Well, I don't know. What if certainly not. Our vessel was badly damaged. Damage is preventing the correct identification, we assure you. Peaceful merchant vessel. Thunderfang does not require aid. What happened to you? We were just flying, minding our business straight out of the blue and open fire. Miracle we could get away. Emperor protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Whistled our tail. Bombed everything. Our folks are left without our help. We need to get to them. Thunderfang, now stop playing games and explain exactly what your business is here. And this time I highly recommend the truth. Happy now? What have you done? Idiot. It's too late now. Do you copy? We are from the fellow of the void. We did not come here to loot. On a different business. Tap our own. Out of chair. Do not hurt, please. We already had our chronos cleaned. How about striking a deal? Our hold is full of blunder. I mean goods. If you're unaware, Lord Captain, the Fellowship of Void is a disorderly assembly of several dozen pirate factions, above regular heretics solely because they sometimes have fox conversations with those whom they are about to board. Well, to me, I would make them eat a salvo from the macrocans. They certainly deserve it. I will wait and destroy the vessel if I were you. Although the moral aspects of the livelihood do cause some more questions, the Fellowship of the Void means a major supply of goods to look at. Perhaps you will find dealing with them acceptable, especially in a situation where performing a fort job is impossible. Prepare for commercial exchange. Is there a way I can compare against other? %35 armor, 1 armor deflection. We'll dodge 2% of this chapter. Can I swap? Yeah, I think that would do well. Uh-huh. Begin scan. Okay. Uh, New blood, machine spirit, cube blood. Ah. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Places such as this make me think of snow. Pure and untainted by human squalor. Under the frozen light of a star that illuminates everything. To the very depths of one's soul.
Uh-huh.
Embrace true power.
Okay, we're gonna save here and we'll continue tomorrow. Or whenever. Because we don't have much time left and I don't know how long this is gonna take. It's my general kind of vibe. So we'll do that. Tomorrow is probably mostly Final Fantasy. Because it's weekly reset, so I gotta do 2 Alliance raids on main, 2 Alliance raids on alt. Which is probably going to take quite some time. And we also got a tombstone farm on the alt. Yeah. So we'll see. Anyway, that was fun. I will leave it there though. Only streamed for like an hour, but is